looking for some real conversation and a little cup of coffee. We've all been in different situations, so now let's talk about them. Until you're sitting down and talking it out, you really don't know what someone's about. Come on over for some real conversation and a little cup of coffee. We've all been in different situations, so now let's talk about them. I wanna know what's going on in your head. Let you get it off your chest. 'Cause sometimes that's all that you need. Just a little place where you can vent. When I'm feeling down in the dumps, I talk to Sandra and she always cheers me up. Come on over for some real conversation and a little cup of coffee. We've all been in different situations, so now let's talk about them. I know all the things that you may have heard, but it's always best to get it from them in their own words. The same thing that we all deserve. Come on over for some real conversation and a little cup of coffee. We've all been in different situations, so now let's talk about them. When I'm feeling down in the dumps, I talk to Sandra and she always cheers me up. Come on over for some real conversation and a little cup of coffee. There's no need for any kind of hesitation. Just try to stop me. Come on over for some real conversation and a little cup of coffee. We've all been in different situations, so now let's talk about them.
On this show, we talk about coffee, New York, daughters, dogs, you know, no big whoop, just coffee talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Sandra Jones.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Talk with Sandra. Tonight's very first episode of Coffee Talk with Sandra with Mal from Atomic Annie. Mal.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay. We're still.
Sorry.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Trying to get my stuff fully set up.
You guys, that's his
Hang
palm.
on there. There we go. Sorry.
No problem.
Oh
No
my
problem.
goodness gracious.
It just wouldn't be right if there wasn't something fun.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect. What is up, Mal?
Oh, not a lot. The world is the world's been crazy, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
crazy.
Poor Charlie.
I'm struggling
Yeah.
in so many different ways. Like, one, thank you, Charlie, for being a martyr for our Lord, because that is what's happening. So he's
Dude.
like a real life Christian martyr that we now know.
Yep.
I don't like that it just has hit me in my gut so bad. Like,
No.
I feel like it should not hurt as much as it does. I just like, and it's like
What did it do?
sorrowful.
Yeah. It's I'm practicing a lot of internal self-control. Trying not to let anger get to me.
Yeah.
Um, it's just absolutely ridiculous how these little demons are celebrating. Not sure what you want to talk about today, but that's actually what's on my mind.
I mean, I think that I will tell you, you're my first conversation with it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've not really talked to anybody because I'm just like trying it. But yeah, of course, this is on our minds.
No, how could it not be?
Yeah, the demons are showing us who they are. So that's a win,
I suppose so.
you know.
It's, well, it's a start getting a bunch of them fired, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, I struggle in that.
Yeah.
I struggle because I was on the, I was
Receiving
on
end
the
of
end,
that.
yeah, of my Twitter since 2009. All my relationships, all my messages, like I had genuine relationships that I care for. And they, in a second, decided to just, because I reposted January 6th.
No.
I mean, it's a personal violation. Now,
No.
should you consider your behavior? I mean, I mean, ugh. I struggle because what is the consequence of doing that to people?
It's what we saw.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
The consequence of demonizing us, calling us Nazis, calling us racist, calling us fascists. Well, I mean, we all learned from childhood that the worst possible thing you could ever be on the planet is a racist Nazi, and and also that they should not be alive, right? Shouldn't exist. I mean, we've all learned that since childhood, and they want to call us that all day, every day for years and years and years. They're not stupid.
Right.
They know what they're calling for.
Yes. Okay. What is going to be the result? Is this going to make people more angry, or are they going to start thinking about what they're actually saying?
Well, so as far as changing them, I think a good chunk of them are just hopeless. I think a good chunk of them just giving themselves over fully to being crazy because they like it, right?
Yes.
That's the thing. They like being evil, and there's a term for that in scripture. It's called reprobate mind. They're of a reprobate mind, like they've given themselves over to this. It's a choice. It's not we, the rational minded people, we will try to make sense of this evil by saying, well, they must have suffered something terrible to choose to be this way, or they didn't choose this. It was a result of trauma, and yeah, that is the case sometimes. And also sometimes people just want to be evil. Some people just choose being evil.
I think
Yeah.
I want to, thank you for reminding me about the reprobate mind, because that's the issue right there.
Yeah.
That is the issue, because I have watched videos. I can't watch a lot of them anymore because I've really had enough.
Yeah.
But watching them, and I'm like, are they getting paid for this? Like,
I know, right? Do they really believe this?
Could you?
Can't possibly believe this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, do you really? Like, prior to this, I never heard of anyone accusing Charlie Kirk of personally being a racist. Issues against. I mean, they are pulling clips and they are clipping and dicing,
Yep.
and I mean that is not helping us.
Yeah.
It's not helping the people that are. I mean, because it's going to get to the point of having enough. Because this one hurt. This is a worldwide hurt. Like, and are there people in other countries saying things like this, or is it just our country?
Yeah, we've got the crazy videos where the Aborigines from New Zealand are like doing their haka, like to make the face, those, and we like to, we've chuckled at some of those because there was some silliness around this. But you see, a bunch of them are also Christians. I ain't never gonna make fun of the haka again, okay? Because a bunch of them are Christians, and they held out big old pictures of Charlie Kirk and did the haka for Charlie Kirk. And whereas to this Western boy's eyes, that looks silly, they're showing him great honor and they hate what was done to him. And so,
Yes.
okay, boys, I'm with you, boys. You know what? Use on my team. I'm on your team. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that was okay. All right, let's be positive. I'm going to go positive for a minute because I guess I'm not being, which okay. Here's why I'm not positive. And I'm God. I think it's my ego that is pissed off that I'm God because I think a few things. I knew even like when my husband came out of the store and he said he died, I'm still like, and that was when? And then I was like, oh, I'm so God. Even in the midst of that, I knew I was God. You know, I know that this is an emotional thing, but this, I want to try not to cry. Hey, Matrix Code Breaker. Here's what Charlie Kirk personally did for me. And this is why I feel like it hurts a lot. Thank you for the raid, the NPC show. Dude, I would love to have a conversation with you. I did a show on a Sunday. I did a show on Jonah and the whale and how Jonah could absolutely just like right in God's face say no and go away, right? That whole shebang. And then I was like, and me? Like I had the nerve, the audacity. I was like, and me? I wouldn't be disobedient like that in God's face.
Oh, I would.
Well,
I know I'm quite capable of it. Sorry.
It's a good
I didn't
lesson.
mean to interrupt.
No.
Carry on.
So I finished church. I'm all excited. I'm all happy. And I'm on, I don't know where I was because I can't find the video. I'm on, it's either Twitter or X, Twix, or what's that other one I like? TikTok. And the kid and Charlie are talking about honoring their parents. And Charlie explained what it means to honor your parents. And I knew at that moment I've been disobeying God, and I no longer stood in dishonoring my mother. And I called her and I asked her to forgive me, and I asked God to forgive me, and I saw my life change from stepping into obedience and how my love spigot was turned back on and how things were kind of going proper.
That's good.
So
That's right.
That is why it's just because he had an impact on my life. All right. So that's my story.
Yeah. Some young men I've been talking to, big impact in their lives as well. And mine as well. You know, Charlie, you know, I'll be kind of brutally honest. I would listen to Charlie in his debates with these creatures, these evil creatures, and I would you know, have things. I would have retorts for these evil creatures, and you know, here they are dishing venom at Charlie, that make fun of him, make fun of his appearance, and just being absolute brats and you know, really shitty people to him. And it's not that Charlie couldn't retort and be firm on topics, so I'm not speaking ill of him in any way, shape, or form, but he would return love, and sometimes way nicer version of love than I would have, you know. And so I would have criticisms for Charlie, and I would be like, well, you know, bro, like, why are you even trying to put it in a nice way for them? This person hates you. This person hates me. And I got to say, my way is greatly inferior to Charlie's, or else we wouldn't even be talking about Charlie right now, if we followed my way.
Yeah, it's now in all fairness, before that, I watched him and Candace go up together. I never really listened to him so much, you know, because I don't really like kids, you know, so I would not. I wasn't really. But listen, I watched him, you know, and when we're in entertainment, we see those around us growing and building. So I know
Yeah.
he's doing something right, and I do
Okay.
think it's very interesting turning point. I think that is phenomenal. This
Yeah.
is for our generation, for our time, this is our turning point. This is our, well, I mean, that's not true. We had 9/11. Jeez, man. Come
Sure.
on. They're getting closer.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so we definitely watch. I know he's had an impact. I just, I don't like, I guess this part of my ego is I don't like that I got. And then how do you bring the spiritual part into it as well? Because there is that spiritual angle.
How did you get got?
Because I got so emotional.
Oh, well, look, Gal, it's okay. It's okay.
Like
That's okay.
literally, because all I could think of is I'm a wife and I have kids. And really, I don't know how. Okay, I have to figure out how to up my voice.
My love, no.
You are. You're.
All right.
And I could even see it. It's just. I'm telling you. Let me put it.
Well, we're talking about
How's that?
somber things, and our volume might
There you
go a
go.
little lower.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting that,
Yeah.
and it is for our country too. Even for those that are heartbroken, okay, I said that, but then I thought there's also a lot of people returning to God.
Yeah.
So there's the number one most important thing there is.
Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it. I was. You asked a couple questions. What's the spiritual, kind of breakdown of what's going on? But you also asked, what is this going to produce? What are things about to look like? Right? Because we know it's a turning point. Well, as a thought exercise, and I don't necessarily think this is the direction that everything is going, but what does an actual far right government takeover and society takeover actually produce? Right. What is the far right actually, and then what if that political entity is actually in control of our society in America? What is that actually? Not what the leftists have defined. Okay. So a lot of people would call me far right, although I'm not a nationalist socialist and I'm not a fascist. First of all, you got to define some things on what those terms mean. Fascist is from the word fascista, which Italian word, which essentially means, the philosophy means we're stronger together, right? Or it's harder to break a bundle of sticks. Yes, I get the joke there as well. It's harder to break a bundle of sticks than just a stick, right? So we're stronger together. So Mussolini, of course, utilized that morale uplifting philosophy with the people, the fascista, with absolute authoritarian, direction. And so, what does that mean? Well, that's like a stupid title to try to put on a people that believe in a representational government, right? Like we're not going to be a dictator or grand leader and the strength of the many completely unified, meaning outlawing every other form of politic but that politic. They call that part right wing, and I'm like, I think that's a pretty stupid thing to call far right wing. That sounds more like communism to me than a representational republic, right? Like it doesn't really mix. And then, of course, your nationalist socialist. Well, socialism's just straight up left wing. And where what happened in Germany then was, well, you had very traditional Christian Germans who adopted and forced a socialism. And so, okay, a lot of those traditional Christian Germans yeah, you can absolutely call them right wing by American standards. Again, like it's just kind of silly for them to even utilize these European terms to describe America, because America's system just isn't what their systems even were. It's like they weren't a democratically elected republic. They've got 14 different parties all appealing to a grand leader in a parliament, typically, right? And yeah, they may switch some positions here and there, and you're going to have two that rise to the top as far as their parties and their parliaments, but it's just really silly. So I'm kind of defining what it's not for the American first, because it's actually not those two things. I think that what you get is hyper traditionalist republicanism with a actual American far right. The term far right, I'm redefining it right now, right? Because it's not that. So hyper traditionalist, what does that mean? That means Christian. It means Christianity is probably the only religion that's actually recognized. It means fast tracking death penalties across the nation. It means ratcheting up the law, getting rid of a lot of law that's on the books right now that allows people to weasel out of things, right? So stripping a lot away that allows people to appeal for 10 years, as a for instance. The First Amendment, I heard it quoted a while back. I'm not sure who said it originally, but the freedom of expression, freedom of speech to a public that doesn't actually value honesty just becomes a coliseum of who can lie the best, right? And so making lying legal, which is something Obama did from our news outlets, that's leftist, Marxist nonsense. That's just designed to demoralize a people and divide a people. So of course, a absolute right-wing government would outlaw lying to people. We would say, no, you need to say that this is your opinion before you go in there and say, Donald J. Trump said that there's mighty fine people that are Nazis at the Charlottesville thing. It's like that's complete BS. That's not what the man said. And they're still doubling down on it. In debates around Charlie Kirk, they're doubling down on that one. Which just infuriates me. That's okay. I literally just listened to 10 seconds after and before your little clip, and it's over. Your position's dog shit. And so very, a far right wing looks like not having nice conversations about degeneracy that you want to indoctrinate our children into. I don't really want to have nice conversations about it. Thank God there's a guy named Charlie Kirk that did. It's giving them every opportunity in the world to knock it off. Just knock it off. And so this was a conversation I had with my daughter, because she's like, I think the right wing is just going to take over everything. And she's like, we might not even be a bipartisan, to put in these words, but there might not even be two parties in 10 years. And I'm like, yeah, that actually, it's possible. I don't think it's super likely, but I think it's not impossible right now. Parties have died before in American history. We had the Whigs, we had the whatevers, we had different parties in the past that just evaporated, or got absorbed by a new movement or whatever. So we're populist with Trump. Populism is a very large tent that lots of different ideals like classical liberalism and someone who's traditionalist, conservative Christian like myself, we can agree on a bunch of stuff. So we could both call ourselves MAGA, right? We are not the same. We're just simply not the same. if I had it my way, the church would have a synergistic role in government right alongside the state. That's a radical idea to a lot of people. A lot of people would say, you advocate for a theocracy? I'm like, you know what? If necessary, sure.
It's our country was
Sure.
founded in God we trust.
Yes.
There's so much intention and purpose behind that to have to have a different way of life.
Yeah. So we got we got we got some crazy times. What I don't see is us lurching left in the near future. I don't see it right in your face. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't see America suddenly lurching left all of a sudden. I think that their positions have been shown to be the dog shit that they are. I'm going to kill camera just for a minute because I got to go get me some coffee.
All right.
But I am still here.
All right. What's up, Duppy? I see you there. Yeah. The Democrat, there are people leaving the Democrat Party right now. On all, you could see all the videos. I go to TikTok. That's where I see them all. And then people grab them from TikTok and bring them over to the Twitter. But another reason to leave. I'm sure, as the Q drops say, 4 to 6% are just so lost. They're digging down. Ugh, it is crazy. Hold on a second. I'm trying to find my celery for Duppy. This is why, Matt. Oh, Matt, we need folders. We need tabs so we can write birthday, Duppy. We should be given at least 20 tabs, okay, for our fields and stuff like that. But if we had the tabs so that our certain people that are broadcasters, you could file their tab with their name. It makes it so much easier. All right. Public service announcement. I'm still trying to find a Duppy sticker. Do you see how bad this is? Here, this is the best I could do.
Duppy sticker?
Yeah, I love Duppy.
No.
Yeah, Duppy said the Dems have to completely rebrand to survive what's coming.
Well, then they're going to have to rebrand as, classical liberals, and they might be able to get some classical liberals from MAGA back over there. It's entirely possible. I can't imagine the classical liberals really want to, cozy up to a guy like me anyway. And they, like the temple, right? He says to me, but we should have at least, safe, legal, and rare abortions. And I'm like, no, fuck off. I mean, that's really sitting next to me. I'm like, no, fuck that. Go fuck yourself. That's how we got here. Right?
That's exactly. And here's the thing. They did so good.
I just have a hardline stance. I just don't care anymore. So I imagine, the Dems, if they branded themselves as classical libs, then somebody like Temple could go over there and stop being uncomfortable sitting next to me.
They have done.
For a guy like me.
They've done a good job devaluing life and devaluing the life of an unborn child.
Yeah.
But for a long time before I understood, I thought it was okay.
Sure.
I'm like, everybody's choice.
The programming is real.
Yeah. Yeah. And then once you're not programmed, you're like, ah.
Yeah, what the fuck was I buying? Like, why did everybody believe this shit?
Yeah. And then my daughters are like, it's our right. And I'm like, no, it's not your right.
Like, what the strongest quick retorts I ever heard, since I brought up Temple, and I don't mean to, or no, it wasn't him actually, it was somebody else. There's a statistic regarding babies that are adopted, right? 100% of babies get adopted because there's a giant waiting list for babies.
Wow.
Not a giant waiting list for 3-year-olds, but there's a giant waiting list for babies. Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's an excellent point.
It's a good retort, isn't it? It kind of just shuts people up. I mean, what are you going to say after that?
Yeah.
100%. If it's and then they might bring up something like triage, where it's choosing the mother or the baby. Well, okay, like look, yeah, triage. What a terrible decision to have to make. Okay, doctor, go in there, make the medical judgment call. I get it. No one has ever argued that.
Ever.
No one,
Nobody.
including like the most traditionalist version of me, going back to like the 6th century or something, is not arguing that. You know.
It is, it's all the indoctrination of putting things in boxes and categorizing it is really coming in handy for them right now. Some of the best memes I've seen was George Floyd with all the fires, and then us with the prayer vigils.
Yeah. So how many cities been burned down since Charlie Kirk? Oh, well, there's the number 0 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be 0.
Yeah.
There is a more virtuous group out of the two. Kind of end of debate.
I mean, it really does. It's like
it kind of ends the debate. There's a more virtuous group. Yeah.
And again, I think part of the devaluing of life is bringing in the video games. The have 5 lives, you got to wait. Oh, just pay some more. Yeah, or now lives are like unlimited.
I'm sorry. My wife has distracted me because this is the coffee cup she brought me.
I
Turn
like
this
her.
around.
Wow.
This thing's ridiculous. This thing even been washed, girl. Yep. Trying to freak me out. She also gave me, I think, a whole pot of coffee in this giant thing.
All right, let's see. Wow.
It's quite full.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, did I not have my camera on?
Oh, you do.
No,
I was drinking
on.
too.
Oh, okay. You said let's see, so I misunderstood.
Oh, I wanted to see if your head could fit in there. Like that will be a clip. Just so you'll know. Prayer fire. Listen, that was a great clip though. With you drinking it and your head.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be good.
This thing's ridiculous.
All right.
If you don't have good eyesight and you look down at the counter, I mean, if you live out in the country, this thing might really scare somebody.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you a question. Since obviously it's needed to be asked. When President Trump when he has recited the poem multiple times of the snake, what do you think the reasoning is for that?
The snake?
Yeah, you know how he's like, the snake was harmed. She let him in. He turned around and bit her.
Oh, well, that's the scorpion and the frog, or that. You talking about that Aesop's fable?
Yeah, but he said when he recites the poem, he's doing it with the snake and a woman, and how she allowed the snake into her home to make her better. To help heal the snake because he was injured.
I haven't heard him say this, so yeah, you'll have to excuse my ignorance there.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah, my question is, what is that? Who is the snake?
Well, immoral, evil people. What context was he speaking? Was he speaking in terms of immigration?
Well, in that terms, I mean, that's kind of perfect. Well, I don't know that.
There are cultures out there that absolutely hate America, Americanism, and Americans. So why the hell would you bring them in the millions? So there's that, right? I can see that, allegory utilized to draw a parallel there. But the concept of the scorpion and the frog. At the end, the frog was a fool for giving the scorpion a ride on its back. Where I see the biggest parallel to speak to the Christian world would be that the tolerance of Scripture for the sinner is not the tolerance of today. The tolerance of today is essentially to enable evil around us, turn a blind eye, do not confront it, right? And so it's obedience to them. This is the tolerance of wokeism today. Tolerance in truth is to be aware of the sinner, to confront the sin, and to offer with love a path to righteousness and to repentance. That's the tolerance of a Christian, is that we don't take the sword to them. We offer them an opportunity to repent. This does not remove the necessity for justice if they've broken the law due to their crazy ass degeneracy, right?
Right.
It does not mean we invite into our homes sin as Christians. We don't do that. That's enabling sin. It's ridiculous. It has no business in our sanctuaries. And so what tolerance has been, it's been redefined in order to be weaponized against us to turn us into pacifists that do not confront evil as Christians. I know, because I've gone round and round and round with lots of my Christian brethren on this topic.
Well,
Because I don't put up with it, and they're like, now, Mal, you need to give them love. I'm like, I am, by telling them what they're doing is evil, and yet if they're going to continue it, how is that not love? It's love for what's right and just. It's love for God's ways and hatred for evil.
right. Well, they started that in the 90s when they started the whole grace movement, because grace took out taking responsibility.
Right.
Oh, grace, grace, grace. So that was like, that's your grace card. Pulling out the grace card. I can do this because I'm going to be graced out. That is so wrong.
It's called greasy grace.
Yeah, like
It's not grace. It's lying. It's selfishness and pretending.
yeah, it is. See, mercy is where it's at. If anyone wants to brag about anything, you brag on the mercy, because he's merciful, because he doesn't give me the punishment I deserve. He doesn't give me the consequence I could deserve. And part of that has to do with your heart. Where is your heart? Are you repentant?
Yeah.
Are you using and abusing him? Like, come on.
Yeah. So, and I can point to a mercy right now, a great mercy that many Christians are currently practicing. These people aren't losing their lives, they're losing their jobs. That is a great mercy. You see why I go round and round with my brothers?
I like this, though. No, because this is important.
It's okay.
Wow, that's good.
Maybe that's a mercy. Maybe some consequences that do sting for them is a mercy compared to, say, a bunch of enraged me's.
I mean, that's true. And like, they're going to be ticked off for a while. It's kind of like any breakup. Whenever you have a breakup, right? You are so mad at the person that broke up. Now, I don't know who broke up with who first, but it doesn't matter. A breakup is a breakup. So you're all ticked off at that person. And like 6 months later,
talking smack even.
Yep. Like, you dummy, you were the one with them all that time. Why are you talking about smack about yourself? Like, hello.
Yeah.
But then once you're through that stage, then you get to the part you played. So the immediate is those maggots, they're maggots, blah, 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 blah. And then when they finally have enough time and they're like, wow, hopefully, God willing, I'm praying for them. My behavior is what did this, not those people. See, that's, again, it's taking responsibility. That's like a big challenge these days. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. there is a time for kindness and there's a time for justice. If there was ever a time for justice, I would say it's now. Okay. How long are we going to suffer this nonsense? You know, and of course this, you know, this little shooter got himself a transvestite lover that he lives with. Comes from a Republican Mormon household. And of course, so they're all like, no, this is a y'all's problem. This isn't your camp. He's a groyper, blah, 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 blah. That's what a lot of people are saying. No. Now, this kid was in a gross relationship and listening to the most vile shit you can imagine all day, every day after he went off to college. And he chose evil. That's what he chose. And he's going to have to pay. And if we don't want repeats of this evil, it has to be made known that we can't have this. That society is not going to tolerate it.
Okay. To add to it, because you're right in everything you said. The thing that is so terrible is the indoctrination, because they don't even realize they're being indoctrinated. And then once you add meds into a system, and no matter how you're doing it, you are now completely messing with people. And who knows about if they got the jab. So now we're adding in all these different elements. And the fact that I can have a thought and it shows up on my phone tells me, what are they doing to these kids where they're basically put, I'm going to sound so crazy. They're basically put on a frequency. All they got to do, a frequency that we possibly can't even hear, but it's for them because of all the meds and everything that they're on. I mean, it's warfare. You're right about making a choice, because even if you just, it's crazy.
He still pulled the trigger. It was premeditated the whole bit, you know.
Do you think that he really did?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've seen people raised in good homes choose to be the exact opposite of the good home. Not saying he was raised in a good home, but let's say that he was, right? I have seen people, I've had peers that were just absolutely not products of the best possible parenting. I have seen that happen. It's not the rule. It is rare, but it does happen. Some people just choose pure evil.
Okay, it can't be that rare. And I'm only saying that because, one, I'm a parent.
Well,
and two,
right.
In the Bible, God specifically gives us the story of the prodigal son. And that's for the parents as well as for the kids go off. Satan is a deceiver. That is the bottom line. He is the...
Well,
go ahead.
What I mean by it being rare is it's going to be rare that it produces abject evil. Teach your kids in the ways that they ought to go, and when they are old, they will follow my ways. It doesn't say when they're young. They're going to probably, many will have rebellions, totally get that, right? But yeah, I've seen, 18, 19-year-olds just absolute, 180 from what they were taught and be absolutely crazy. But those that were really raised with God's values, that are Christian kids, gave their heart to the Lord, made that profession. That's on the side of rare for them to choose evil, to be evil. It's not rare for them to be rebellious and be sinful. That's not rare at all.
Right.
That's all over the place, right?
That's why usually
choosing complete evil, that one actually is rare. In my experience.
Yeah. I would agree with you. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. But you're right. It ain't rare for us kids to be absolutely wild. I was.
That's what I am trying. It is. Okay. How old are your kids?
I just have a daughter. She's 19 now, or just about to be, rather.
Isn't this such a strange age?
She just got her driver's license today. A bit of a late bloomer. Very proud of her. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, she did well. She's very happy. She's very feeling accomplished. Right. Of course, I was a fish in water with driving, but not so much on her end, you know. And so it's taken her a bit of time, and I've tried to explain to her that, hey, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, especially because of what COVID did to some kids. There's some emotional development there that I think COVID kind of stunted a bunch of kids. Yeah, that whole era was messed up.
Totally.
How did my camera freak out? Don't die! Don't die!
I was trying not to cough in everyone's ear, so I'm trying to get to where I gotta go, and I pushed everything down.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I say take your time, but this is wild how fast the babies are going. I'm not really fond of it. Her being my 19-year-old, like she's like, I'm 19. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah,
can
they're
stay out
babies,
till
right?
1. Yeah, they're babies. And how were our parents okay with sending us to college? Out on a, I'm not cool with that.
Our parents?
Yeah.
Our parents didn't know shit about shit.
That would probably be why.
I mean, I'm not trying to talk too much back. They did know some things, but as far as they just did not want to see the moral degradation of society. If we're talking about boomers, right? I mean, I'm Gen X, right? They just didn't want to see it. They had their 9 to 5s and their cocktail parties, and you know, latchkey kid here, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just a very different world that they grew up in, but also they, you know, the term conspiracy theorist, right?
Mm-hmm.
They all bought that hook, line, and sinker. Vast majority of them. You were tinfoil hat if you started to question status quo at all, and they had already rolled out like 500 new definitions for words at that point. We're at a couple thousand now new definitions. They just changed the meaning of words. And they just, you know, well, if a expert said the thing, then it's the thing. That's just boomer mentality. I heard a guy on Pierce Morgan show today. I can't remember his name, but you know, he was put in jail for Trump. I don't remember his name, but anyway, he said, you know what? One of the biggest problems right now is all this anonymity on the internet. If people just had to use their name, then we wouldn't be having this Charlie Kirk type of situation, because you just wouldn't talk to people like that. I'm like, have you not talked to people in real life? Like, yeah, people are more bold on the internet, but removing anonymity is not going to solve the problem, sir. We have diametric opposition in millions of people in their morals. 180 degrees, their morals are completely opposite from one another. Millions of people on both sides being completely opposite from one another. Y'all didn't want to see it, and y'all would call them weirdos. The leftists, you know, you would call the leftists weirdos, and they would call you weirdo, and you would just go about your day. But you let those weirdos raise more so, and let them raise the millennials, you know, and Gen X as well. But boy, the weirdos in the school systems, that's who raised the millennials.
Do you know what my husband said? He said, what we are seeing now is the result of crack babies. So all the crackheads that had babies,
your husband's base,
these are now, that is what society is right now. And I would have never thunk about it, but I mean, that was I have chills right now.
Is he being a little funny when he says that now?
No, because
No, he's not. Okay.
because he sees, we're in Cook County in Illinois,
Sure.
and I can't even believe how much our neighborhood is changing. Thank you, Obama.
Yeah.
And you could see it, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm sincerely, when I'm actually looking at people, I'm like, what happened? And he said, this is the result. I couldn't believe he said that. And I was like, you know what? That is
There is a
so,
physiognomy too to it
yeah.
as well.
Anyone talk to a recovering crackhead? I mean, listen, I know there's other things. That crack does something to the brain.
100%.
So your brain is jacked, and then you are probably hooking up with another crackhead
Sure.
who is jacked, and now you're having a baby.
Yeah, crack or insert any other substance. Yeah.
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 And,
Sure.
birds of a feather flock together. So here we are, and this is our youth. And let's throw in the video games,
Yeah.
For no value of life. So now you're
Right.
dealing with mental incapacity without even really understanding it. Oh, let's put all the shots on there too.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, you're right. It's a cocktail. It's not one ingredient. It's we're looking at a stew here that produces wackadoos. It's not one thing. There's multiple ingredients in this stew. We can identify them all. It's not to say there's not so many ingredients. No, there's probably about a dozen or so ingredients that produce this shit stew.
ugh. But it's
What?
true, right?
Yeah. And they're identifiable. And yeah, the crackhead part, that's part of it. But crack babies having crack babies. Yeah.
And that's amongst all right. You know what, though? I ain't never seen an Indian crackhead. Have you ever seen an Indian crackhead?
Well, I've seen an Indian trip balls. No, I ain't never seen an Indian crackhead. I mean, I've seen some Indians that act like crackheads, but I know for a fact they ain't crackheads. There's different kinds of Indians. I mean, you asked the question, so I'm telling you the answer. Yeah.
All right, what about Asian? Have you seen an Asian crackhead?
Just heroin. Just heroin with them. Well, that and psychedelics. So I had a strange past.
Like, listen, here, this is the perfect time. We're going to listen to Better Times.
Right on.
And then
On to better times.
Yes.
As I drink out of this crazy diamondback rattler that my wife had to grab me.
You know what? I just want you to know. Can you tell her that I love her? I totally.
Sure thing. Oh, she's fun, man. She's a fun gal.
Yeah.
She ever wants to put her face on the interwebs, I'll have her on with me.
That would be amazing.
She's a smart gal. Quick-witted. Keep her on topics a little hard though sometimes.
Wow, I
She
mean,
can't hear me right now, but she would give me the eye.
listen, I can relate to that. I am not good at that myself. I squirrel all the time.
It's all good. I'm used to the squirreliness, trust me.
So I went and got your video
Yeah.
for Better Times. And do you want to set this up, or do you want to talk about it after?
No, go ahead. Play the tune. Yeah.
That was wonderful.
On to better times.
Oh, perfect. All right, I do have a question. I'm curious, when we have such an event, what does that do to your writing? Like how?
Well, it's going to affect it for sure. You know, a lot of the lyrical content that I have is from you know something that happened. I lost my brother, one of my brothers, right, and a couple of years ago, and um, shoot, I mean, on to better times is kind of me getting through the grief, and I'm going on to better times now. You know, that's but it smacks of societal level things as well. We're going on to better times. You know, it's got to be better than what we've been dealing with. Right? It's got to be better than what we've been dealing with. Um, and and so you know, I'm highly unlikely to do a Charlie piece, but you know, whatever's on my mind on the regular is probably going to come out in the lyrics, and so it might be, you know, I might do something regarding the internal struggle and war for myself regarding maintaining my peace with all that I see, you know. Um, uh, you know, or I might do something, you know, from an old photograph and remembering what was going on that day. And my lyrical content is not nearly as deep as what I have to say in a conversation.
Right.
Typically, well, first of all, that'd be a lot more words than just, you know, some choruses. We're an instrumental act, and you know, but I put together some lyrics that we can. I pre-recorded the lyrics and the vocals and set them in a loop where we can turn that loop on and off during live performance. That's really what we're doing, and so lyrical content is going to be very minimal. I think the most that I ever did was I handed Tavian 4 different you know verses that could be played at different levels of the music. But typically 1 or 2. Like that one was just 1.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Just like
Getting
there.
rated again?
Yes, we're getting rated again by Madness Comic Network.
Oh,
Very
madness.
cool. So thank
Good to see
you.
it, Pops.
Yes. Thank you guys for being here. What?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean just lyrically. I you know, like how much bass is going to be in this song? Like when you know what I'm saying? Like because I do think like writing the music is writing your feelings to a sound.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, specifically with the actual instrumentation, you know, I like to move through the emotional spectrum when I'm writing. I like to have a lighter hearted part and a darker hearted part, you know, or heavier hearted part. Because I think it makes, you know, more interesting music, soft to intense. Um, we both me and Tavian are pretty intense guys, and so we really have to pull ourselves back to remember less intense music, I think, and just who we are does translate into what's going on musically. But lyrically, oh yeah, what's going on in the world will always affect what I'm doing lyrically, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, can you I guess like do you feel in sound? I don't know if that's crazy. Like
Do I feel the sound? Yeah.
do you feel in sound? Like does it help you release? I don't know if I sound nuts.
Oh, well, you're trying to articulate something you don't know how to articulate.
Yeah.
So what's going on when I'm producing music, sometimes I will get into it to such a degree that it'll bring tears to my eyes. I've always been like that since I was a young kid. So if you're asking that if I feel what's going on, yeah, every bit of it. Now, when I'm recording and having to be perfectly on time and click, I have to remind myself not to feel it and just be the robot and recapture what I just did. and so what that means, it doesn't mean it's sterilized. It's just I've practiced so long to where I can, that soulful thing that I wrote, I can reproduce it, but now it has to be perfectly in time so that it maximizes how effective it is. And so I'll do that for professional recording. Live though, you're going to see me, drift in and out of time, and just be crazy. And for the people that just showed up, this is what happens to those that tread on me. I make them into my coffee mug, my ridiculously oversized rattlesnake coffee mug.
Make sure you Ghost Pepper, it's only fixed when I turn off my mic, so I have to adjust. All right, so I spilled coffee on my soundboard.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that means I had to get a new one, and I don't really understand how it all is. So when you're going, it's going
I hear you
on
just
both
fine.
of ours. Yeah, it's an echo.
Oh.
I gotta fix
Oh,
it.
the audience is getting an echo?
If I keep my mic live while you're talking.
Got you. That's why you're toggling. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I get you. I'm no stranger to complex audio problems, trust me. And making me look unprofessional. It'll do that to you.
Yes, it will. And like, come
And you're
on.
like, I allocated 3 hours to solve this. Sorry, it just ain't solved yet. That happens.
Okay, I actually couldn't even get this to register in my system. So so it's like, okay, I got that far. I watched a YouTube. I just have to figure out the buttons.
Yeah. Probably a routing issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's you can send me what the audio board is, and after show I might be able to help. Maybe it depends. It depends on the board. It depends on what's going on with your system, whether or not I'm just like, yeah, you just gonna have to follow the YouTube video. I can't tell you anything different. It's a good 80% chance that's the case.
Right.
But just telling me what all you're using is going to take a minute. It's and then diagnosing it just takes time with audio gear. It does. What's chat saying? I can't read it.
Ghost Pepper is saying echo fixed.
Oh,
Don't
cool.
feel my muscles will remember. All right, and before that, Disco Daphne was in here. She says hello.
There you go.
Oh, my things are freezing. What? Have you had any technical issues?
I did see things. I am seeing things be a little janky, a little, jittery, like dropping frames on Zoom here a little bit. Fuzzy.
Even
The screen's
today?
fuzzy. No, I don't think that. I think I could read things fine before today. It could just be a Zoom issue too. So I'm not sure there's anything you can do about it.
Ghost Pepper wants to know what kind of lighter you use.
It is a blue Bentley, sir. The coffee cup is far more interesting. But speaking of crackheads, I do in fact have a lighter for them as well. I think my wife got it because she knew I wouldn't put this in my pocket, and I'm notorious for just walking off with every lighter in the house in my pocket because I forget.
I like your wife. She just keeps winning, winning, winning.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I love her. We have a good marriage. We're very blessed.
That
Indeed.
okay. So what makes a good marriage?
Deciding you want a good marriage, the both of you. Both of the parties have to decide that's going to be the case, come hell or high water. That, and I think that one of the primary things that causes people to have shit marriages is a definition of what it is in their heads, right? I think many of the problems we see in many marriages stem from believing that marriage is a business partnership, like a slightly more romantic version of a business partnership. Or we see marriages as long-term girlfriend, boyfriend. Or we see marriages as, well, as long as you're making me happy, this is good, right? What we don't see marriage as, and this is, we don't see God typically, a typical person doesn't see marriage as God defines it, which is a covenant with him and us. That's the thing that I see being the primary thread through all these miserable, terrible marriages that I've witnessed in my life, is that then leaving the marriage or threatening leaving the marriage or treating each other like shit, tit for tat, was far more rare when people believed that trashing the marriage meant also trashing a vow that you made to God.
100%.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta.
Yeah. That's for the men and the ladies just alike.
Yeah, men and ladies just alike. They didn't hear that, but that's very important.
Okay, got it. Yeah, it's the both of us. And now we both screw it all up in different ways. But yeah, taking it serious. And the marriage is about the family, right? The marriage is not about fleeting happiness. Can you maintain happiness 24/7 for your mate? I challenge anyone to say yes. If you say yes to that, and you think that you can maintain the other person's happiness 24/7, if a person actually believes that they're capable of doing that, or a person believes that the other person is capable of doing that, you have a completely wackadood version of what is even possible between one human to another human, right? And so happiness typically is a choice, right? I've been in some real shit circumstances and I've chosen to be happy. And I've been in some really good circumstances in my life and I've chosen to be miserable. I have done both of those shitty things. Well, I guess choosing happiness is not shitty. But this is just to say that a lot of the problems, and well, to answer your question, what makes a good marriage is that we define it as a covenant with God. It is an oath. It is vows between two people. It's that level of seriousness that makes, through good times and bad, through sickness and health, better and worse. It's what makes that even possible is the vow, right? And through the hardship of life, or bickering, or being shits to one another, or betrayal, and all of that, boy, it's easy to lose sight of these things if we lose sight of the fear of the Lord. Yeah, fearing me breaking the Lord's heart. All right, and to put it in a personal way. So it's that in by my estimation is the primary thread that has either made a good marriage or made a shit marriage.
I concur. So what happens if I mean really it is the only thing we do with God. Like you don't get a house and have God as a witness. There's no other commitment you make where God is the center of it. Ghost Pepper for the follow over on D Live. Thank you. You know, it is very serious. It's the only thing. And I feel like what marriage is supposed to be is just the person that you choose to go through life with. I mean, it really totally rocks when God is the center. But like that's your person. This is who we're gonna hit it. We're gonna do this. Because life just hits.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, shitty stuff happens, good stuff happens. You know, so and you learn more and more over time. You know, to the young men and women, I've got a couple of young men talking to me about marriage that are single. Because I said, yeah, so listen, fellas, don't talk to men that don't have good marriages about marriage, please. Like, just like save yourself some heartache. Same with the ladies. Don't listen to women that got 3 divorces about how to have a good marriage. For fuck's sake, that's super common. Well, it's women just talk more than men, right? Holy crap! Like y'all get some shit advice. I've heard bad advice from a lot of the fellers, but I gotta say, ladies that have been divorced giving out advice for marriage. Yeah, you know, I've just heard a lot of doozies in recent days. So I said this. Go ahead.
I've told my daughters, when you're talking to your friends or you're talking to anybody, look at the life they're living and then hear what they're saying. I mean, some people just like to talk. But
yeah, some people do.
Look at the receipts and go from there.
Yeah. Like every New Jersey girl I ever met, y'all love to talk. I don't mean that in any kind of negative way.
It's true.
It's true. It's true. It's like you got all the talker genes all located in one part of the great United States of America.
And I mean, I get on my own nerves. I just can't help it.
Oh, girl. No, it's all good. It's all good. No, it ain't even a negative. It's a good thing, actually.
It can be a negative. It could be a negative when you're on the other side of it. I always say this. It's very easy. People are like, oh, I love you so much. So easy to love people you don't live with. You know?
Yeah. Sure. It is easier to love someone that you don't have to deal with and all their quirks that you don't see. Because we got quirks. I got quirks. You know, I've got some things in my world I like it just so. So my wife, God bless her, the first 5 years of our marriage, I didn't say anything for like 5 years. Right? This was a mistake. This was a mistake of mine. But for 5 years, Sandra, she would do all the dishes, right? And it was surprise location for the forks. A surprise location for the bowls. The bowls used to be up here. No, they're right here now. Right? It was a surprise dish location. And one day I'm like, wife, why are you doing this? You've made different choices on where the dishes go. You've chosen like 19 times. What are you doing? I wasn't mad. I was more like flabbergasted at that point. I was annoyed before. I wouldn't express that annoyed because, you know, why express, there's probably some kind of bigger battle or something. But I'm also like, so freaking, such a creature of habit, I would reach without looking for the fork and have a spoon. And then I would have to put it down and grab a fork. and that's just, if you see me, I'm not always looking. I can, good hand-eye coordination. I can memorize where things are if I'm, grounded where I'm at. And so I move quick. in my shop. I play guitar. I'm not always looking at the fretboard, although I do mostly. There are boys that never have to look at it, and I ain't one of them. But yeah, so I said, why are you doing this? She goes, oh, well, I just don't remember. She's like, why does it matter? What does it matter? I'm like, what does it matter? Well, I guess it doesn't, but it's annoying. This was a positive exchange. Okay. This was not a fight, but I just told her that this is annoying. She's like, why? What is the problem? I'm like, the dishes are constantly in a new location. She's like, so? And I'm like, so why? So quirks, man. So
Okay.
as annoyed as I was before I finally actually just said, like, I don't like this. And it took her some time to stop doing it. But I was, again, like, this was, we have had fights, but this was not one of them. This nothing, mostly actually it just turned into a joke as you're hearing it now. But quirks, but before I said it, there were days where I'm like, why would she do that? That's annoying. I'm in a rush to work or something, right? And so I'm those slight little annoyances, and there might be 90 of them in one day. And the ladies get annoyed with little shit even more than the gents, and there's plenty of them, right? Like to this day, actually. So if I will have a big drink of water, set it down on the counter, because I'm going to go back in the shop and I'm going to get another water later. I'm not going to fill it up and leave it on the deal, and I'm not going to bring a nice glass out into the shop while she washes it. And so she ends up washing like 12 glasses a day of mine that I set, down on the counter. And so, like, that doesn't annoy me at all. It's more like just funny. It's just a quirk. I'm like, where's my water glass? And she's like, I washed it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'll just get another one.
Okay, so here's my question. Does it bother you that she washed it? Does it bother her to wash it? Like, is it better for
Right.
her as a person? Like,
Right.
it's put away, it's washed,
Yeah,
it's clean.
we've talked about it. So it's not that she's annoyed with me regarding the matter. In fact, I've asked her, I'm like, am I bothering you? Like, just tell me with the glass. Okay. Like, I don't want to bother you. I'll figure out a method. I'll start using my tumbler or some shit because I forget that it's there. Right. And she goes, oh, no, I just see dishes. And when I'm doing dishes, I'm just going to do them all in the entire house.
Right.
And
Like,
I go, oh, okay.
it has nothing
Yeah.
to do with you. It just has to do with her sanity. Like, that's all. And there's no feel about it. It's just her. Yeah.
So it's one of the quirks, right? We just operate a little different. And like, okay, but I've asked her, because I don't want to add one little thing to a pile that's a nothing burger, of course, because I respect my marriage. And that's kind of the point. So in action, the fear of the Lord of the covenant that you made with him, are you honoring your marriage? Like, are you being a shit on purpose? Or is there something I could do? I'm talking to myself here. Are you being a shit on purpose? Or do you not know what you're doing? And maybe you could just ask her if it's annoying the piss out of her. And she does the same. And so that's the culture that we've cultivated in the house. We haven't had a fight in many, many, many years. Well, a minor thing, but that was frustration because I was an asshole. So, yeah, I owned that quickly. All right.
I gotta own mine too. I'm
Yeah.
usually the one in the. I'm
I misunderstood something and got heated, and that does occur with me. It's true, but it wasn't a fight. It was just, she's like, what is happening? And I'm like, well, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, that didn't happen. I said, yeah, but blah, 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 blah. And she said, you misunderstood point B there. Did I really? And she goes, yes. I'm like, pause, think, okay, my bad, right? But I don't like blah, blah, blah. And she goes, well, I agree and we're good. I'm like, that was the end of it, right? That was that you just heard without the particulars of whatever it was. I don't even remember. You just heard our worst fight in 10 years.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I'll take it compared to the prior. And
Okay. How many
there
years
was
are you
more.
in?
Oh, since 04. So 21 years. Yeah, well, we're both very strong, strong people, very smart. I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn. Carol's smarter than me, but capable. And when we're right, we know we're right because we're typically right, and we're not always right because we're humans. And so we have debated many a day. And whereas she is brighter than me, she's not as good a debater as me. And so I typically am like, okay, stop going into actual debate mode. This is your wife, not some stupid leftist, right?
Yeah, that's an important line.
I can't be using those tools against my wife. I could use those weapons against some shitheads. But I'm going to honor my marriage and not use tactics on my wife. I don't need tactics. I need for our communication to be healthy and good. And but I've been a debater for since I was a kid. Yeah.
Okay, how did you get to the realization of tactics?
Oh, that I was using tactics? Well, so I was kind of an early bloomer on communication skills, and so my ability to communicate, I would argue my way out of getting in trouble at school. I was a kid, right? And I would argue with my mom, and I would argue with a neighbor, and I would argue with other kids, and everybody thought I was going to be a lawyer, right? Like, holy shit, you argue more than anybody else. Like, I plan on potentially getting into the debate circuit in the near future, like debate bros, right? But I'm going to have to remember a lot of quick facts. I'm going to have to commit a lot of stuff up here, like Charlie Kirk. He had good rapid recall. Boy was quick, super quick, on his feet, had it memorized. I do not. On whatever topic I happen to be thinking about, I'm good. But if you start gish galloping on me, then it's I may not be able to keep up, say, with somebody like Destiny. And boy, I hate the boy, but he is a rapid shot. He could rapid fire a lot of memorized facts and evidence. Really good under demonstrating logic. That doesn't take memorization. I'm really good on that.
Okay,
To answer your question.
Can I just say, you do have the Holy Spirit?
Mm-hmm. Yes. 100%. And that's a matter of witness, and I can always witness. I know how to do that. But in the debate,
what I mean though is the Holy Spirit is also, if you pray and ask God to help you and have the Holy Spirit bring these things to you, I 100% believe Charlie Kirk was able to do those things because
100%.
of his relationship with the Lord and with the Holy Spirit. Because
he would agree.
So
100%. I'm just saying there's things before I go into that realm, I need to actually coach. Like, I need to coach myself and because I'm not going to get caught flat-footed.
There's a lot they pull in like things that people have brought up. I'm like, how is he going to deal with that? And then he would turn around. I was like, wow, like I didn't even know anything about that. And he's pulling in. So yes, absolutely. Learning the history.
Yeah, he knew his stuff is what I'm getting at. He really knew himself, his stuff. He wouldn't know every single factoid either. Sometimes I'll bring some obscure thing to you never heard of. In that moment, if you don't know, you say you don't know about that thing, but you dig into the logic of it and demonstrate logically what's going on. Or the logos, the God logic, the God's ways, his principles. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I need to really refine.
That's a very good point, though. That's actually a very good point. And I'm saying it's a good point because a lot of times people will hesitate in really speaking up because they don't know how to go if they don't know the information. But what you just said, and you will actually see, Charlie does that actually a lot, is he will take their logical statement that has something to do with you don't know, and he will bring God into it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of amazing. That's a very good job. Way to go, Mal.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate that. Well, there really is only one logic, actually. And that's God's logic. There really is actually only one, because the logic proves the existence of God. And the more we delve into logic, the more like it just is. It's like math. It's something we discovered. It's not something we invented. And so it means it's a created thing prior to humans. But the tactics, right? If I started to say to my wife, you're obfuscating and gish galloping, stop being bad faith. Well, you see, she may be actually guilty of gish galloping, which means rapid firing a bunch of different topics. And she may actually be guilty of obfuscating, which means distracting from the point at hand or trying to move the goalpost all over the place, right, in a debate. She might actually be guilty of those two things. But if I confront her on those two things in that moment and tell her to exchange with me in good faith, well, have I exercised a little bit of temperance, paused a moment and been like, why is the girl running? Because if she's using that, if she's actually doing those things, she feels like she's a cornered animal, right? People don't start obfuscating and stuff like that. Well, or they're guilty of sin, right? Whatever it is, and they ain't ready to admit it to you right now. Okay, this is the woman I love. Yes, I'm aware of what she's just done, and we is likely gonna pick it up in a few hours. Because otherwise, what am I going to do? Am I going to extract the logic from her and force her in the moment while she's emotional to concede that she is wrong and she's used those tactics on me? Well, I may win the battle, but I've lost the war. Now I could win it. And when I was a younger man, I would do such things, right? Because I don't know, I think I had low self-esteem or something, right? And I just had to, I just had something to prove, and she happened to be the person in front of me that was mad at me, so I got mad back. So, or if I were to utilize bad faith tactics like gish galloping or like goalpost moving or any other fallacious form of argumentation out there, if I started using that shit, which I don't do that, but when I was a young man, I did when I was like 18, 19, and hell, that's when we met. I probably did. I don't know. I was an asshole, but I apologize for all that and meant it and repented for being a jerk face. That's also prior to me being born again, Yeah. But so that's what I mean by tactics, and if you recognize the form of argumentation that somebody's using against you, you can turn it around on them. And turning it around on someone that you love, she's not my opponent, right? I can't be seeing her as my opponent. If I do, like, it's bad. Either I'm going to win and not win, or I'm going to lose and really lose, or there's just, so we're always going to have arguments, but the arguments for someone who's well adept in debate with their spouse needs, it's almost as if I'm hamstrung a little bit, because if I debate her, she's just going to feel like I talk to her like I talk to some shithead, right? She's not going to feel like she's my wife or I'm treating her like my wife. Even if she's being a shit. Rare, but it happens. Or it has happened in the past. And so, people are people. We got flaws. We got problems. Sometimes we're just, we're not feeling it. Whatever it is, we're off that day and we act like a jerk. And you can greatly minimize that through just exercising some self-control. And I wasn't exercising self-control when I was using debate tactics on my wife when I was a young man. It was foolish.
I feel like marriage is like a big mirror.
Yeah, it'll let you know where you're at. It'll let you know how big an ego you got. Yeah. It'll let you know. It'll let you know if you got some patience to work on. Yeah. It also will let you know things like stop and pay attention to the room and be present in the moment. They said something very heartfelt to you, talking to myself. Don't ignore it because you're thinking about something else out there. Or pause, look at her in the eye, and really assess what's going on. You can get back to that later. My head is spinning a million miles a minute, taking care of business or whatever. It'll teach you to stop and appreciate a person. Well, either that or you're about to go have hell in a marriage.
It's true.
Well, I mean, if one is not feeling loved, it's just going to go bad. One day, sure, but do it as a pattern for months. Yeah, it's rotten. It'll rot the marriage. Yeah. So you got to tend it. That's that's where I've learned. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Look at what song is next, too. Oh, it's not hilarious, but there are no quinky dinks, right? The next song is Are You Okay?
Yeah, so I wrote that in time of grief. A lot of folks were asking me if I was okay, and I was not okay. So, I don't know. I just picked a few songs. Hope it's all right.
Absolutely. It's perfect. Excellent. That I totally physically felt that. I was completely in tune with that.
Yeah, that was grief. That was grief in musical form to the best possibility and the best I could do it.
Very well
And me
done.
and Tavian too.
That was so good. Yeah, and I like the rain too. Good graphics as well.
Boiling Point Live says, Jesus loves us when we're dumb. Lucky for me. Yeah, even when we're dumb. Yeah, well said.
And God takes it all into account. He knows who we are. He takes us who we are into account for what he's going to have us do.
Yeah, 100%. He knows it all. Never met.
So what do you have going on this week?
Well, this week I'm going to work on a guitar for Mr. Ghost. Here's how his studio is going. He's been working on a drum studio for himself, and lots of woodworking in my shop. I might actually grab my phone and show you my shop. It might be interesting to folks. I don't know. Are you a big woodworker, Sandra?
I love wood, and when I was in, I could go some ways.
That's funny. Yeah.
I really do love it. But I remember in elementary school, we had home economics and we had wood shop. And I love wood shop. I've always wanted to build. If I had a garage, I'm sure that I would be building my own entertainment center. I'd be building my own bed.
Nice. I'm building guitars, and finished my client's first guitar. Turned out very, very good. I'm pretty sure I posted some stuff on Bill, definitely posted on X, etc. It's not sure. Oh, on Telegram too. If you go to Karmamichele channel there, you'll see some photographs if you want to see the guitar I finished. Turned out good. I was quite pleased with it. Had some electrical difficulties while the client was in town. He came into town to visit. See, also a friend, but. And so, it was like racking my brain to try to fix a grounding issue. Sometimes with guitars, grounding issues are a problem. But turned out very good. Built Tavian a new desktop for his keyboard rig, which you'll see that live next show this Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And there's a picture of it before stain, before finish. There's custom knobs and plates I made. Yep. There's a finished drawing there for the stain.
She's so pretty.
Yeah, she's pretty. She's got an old soul, as my buddy Matt said. And it's.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's finished up.
And
I think I actually have a picture of him playing it. Thank you. Yeah, that's a much more honest picture. The other had like some type of blue light on it or something. That's a much better picture.
Okay, the richness in the coloring is just phenomenal.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, it was. It kind of looks like a tiger's eye close up. Like tiger's eye stone. Yeah. There it is on his wall. That Japanese writing there. That's those are actual certification scrolls from Japan. He's a martial artist. He's a very cool, very dangerous man, my friend. Yeah. Oh, it's trying to play the next tune. That's funny.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Kindly. Yeah, that's finished product. The shop just is a humble, half of a garage shop, and it's work in progress, of course. There's the black limbo wood that became Tavian's whole desk.
Wow, that's really pretty. Look at that grain.
Yeah, that's just what it looks like. That's black limbo. It smells a little bit like peppercorn when you cut it. It's a different smell, that wood. I like it. Yeah, but look at that spot right there. Ain't that pretty? Yeah, I of course I show it to my daughter and she goes, "It's not black." I said, "Well, it's got black lines." She goes, "Oh yeah, it does." Oh, that's where that was pre putting on the top coat finish, and all that purple you see there, it rubbed off because apparently you cannot dye or you cannot stain black limbo with powder based pigment. You got to use actual dye, which are two different things. So, but I really love the look of it anyway, even though most of that rubbed off.
That is gorgeous.
Thank you. But yeah, that's my shop there. It's humble, honestly. But you see how most of it's just gone. This poof like ninja. But you can see it in the grain there a little bit. Yeah. I'll take it.
You could kind of see it where it's darker.
Yeah. The waves in the grain shows it. But yeah, black lemon just doesn't like powder. Doesn't like powder pigment very much. So noted for the future, right?
I mean, look at what happens to the powder kids.
Yeah, pretty stuff, man. I'm going to work with black limbo more in the future. I use hand scrapers a lot to do shaping, and it just hand scrapes like a dream. Much easier to hand scrape than say maple. Maple's a harder wood than this. It's not as soft as say pine, but it's a hard wood. It just isn't nearly as hard as maple.
Look at how pretty the lines are, like so completely through it.
Yeah, that's just how it looks. It's not actually what they call spalted. You can have any wood that has like a little bit of fungus growing in it, and you'll get some black lines that look kind of like that. But that's not spalting. That's just the nature of that particular tree.
Right. That's what I thought. But it's just like being able to see it in the thickness and how it's like it goes out. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. Much appreciated. It works, Del. I appreciate the props.
All right. So you have a show this week?
I do. Yeah. It's going to support our new desktops, but it's also supporting a new drum machine that's in the mix. We did have it in the first tune from last show, but Tavian's still learning the thing because it's a complex unit. But those drum sounds from the 80s, a lot of the electronic drum sounds from the 80s, kind of hard to reproduce. Well, he basically bought one of those units. It's a reissue via Behringer, but and so he's getting some of that feel, a little bit of 80s percussion into the mix. So it's a new little element. It affected how the last song sounded for sure that we used it on. So we'll definitely be using the tar of it in the next several shows. While he's fully digging into the unit. It's called the LM drum, Lynn drum or something like that. But LM for short. It's a challenging unit. It's a complex unit. It's more complex than other stuff he's got in there. Well, except for the main performance DAW, I guess you could say, called the machine. They uses to replay backing tracks and pre-program drums, and that's a very complex unit. But that LM is probably next in line for the most complex thing he's got. Are you smiling at my ridiculous coffee cup again?
Well, I'm smiling at that, and then I'm also smiling at every time like there's this big challenge in this new thing we're doing. And once we conquer it, right? Yeah. It's like, and then you get to, you're good at it. But there is
Yeah.
something about learning something new. It is a challenge. It's like there's a joy in it.
Yes. Yes. Well, you can choose there to be a joy in it, or you have a fit along the way.
Oh yeah,
I've done both. I've been guilty of both.
okay, I gotta tell you, with this
Yeah.
new box that I got, I have to
Yeah.
say, instead of having a fit like I would normally like to do, I am okay. What is a fit? It is a grown person having a temper tantrum, and I've learned that that is actually what I do. I'm having a temper
Okay.
tantrum because maybe I don't understand. I'm afraid because I don't understand, and I'm learning like, okay, just breathe. So this
Yeah.
time, instead of freaking out, I just put it down and allowed space and time between it, and I didn't take it personal, and
That's
I didn't
wise.
start
Good.
beating myself up. So then what did I do? I just came in here and at least I got it hooked up. Now I'm gonna have to adjust the sound, but hi Golden
Yeah,
Lady.
that's temperance. What you just talked about is temperance. You're not gonna allow yourself to get all huffy puffy about it. You know you would, and so you just gonna walk away from it. There are times where I'm like, Tavian, we're gonna go have a cigarette now, and he's frustrated with some technical thing, or I'm frustrated with some technical thing. He handles most of the technical stuff though. Guitar player can handle many technical things, but Tavian can handle far more technical things. So he just ends up handling most technical things. If you ask me how,
both your hands usually busy
oh, well, live, yes, but
and
we're
your
talking
feet?
about behind the scenes work, which there's much of. It's I'm capable, but like I'm a quarter Tavian speed on troubleshooting technical audio shit. If you ask me how it was all arranged and hooked up all together and all that, like I could give you a very layman's basic chart of it, and Tavian would say you've mixed up two of those basic components. I'm like, okay, well, sorry. If I was forced to rebuild it all myself, I probably could, but you'd probably see me in 6 months, right? Whereas if Tavian had to, you'd probably see him in 3 weeks. Yeah, to rebuild Atomic Annie's setup to do again, like we had to. It's a thing, right? There's a lot of moving pieces. Hello, Calico.
Listen, I have had to rebuild so many times because I just blow it up.
Yeah.
Blowing up computers. This is my third one.
Oh no. Well, are you sure it's you and not crazy Calico? Because Calico's crazy.
I mean, I wish that I could blame her.
That's funny.
Well,
Wow.
now
Sandra says you're a peach, darling. The wife has stepped out.
Sweaty is what I am.
Yeah.
Sweaty peach.
She just got back from the gym.
well,
The cup's a hit.
Oh yeah.
Crazy
I
girl.
think I'm hilarious. What do you want?
Hilarious.
we will be making a sticker.
Yeah. Good
All right,
times.
Mal. This is our first episode of our Monday show, our Music Monday. I mean, I'd say it was a success, especially considering our first topic.
Yeah. Well, it's a rough one, isn't it? Yeesh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's what's on all of our hearts and minds right now, anyway. And I'm glad to be able to talk to you about it. It's good.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. I do feel better. I still have, so much.
We all got questions. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's
we've got some internal questions. How do I deal with this? Where's my line before I cross a line and being sinful with the hate I got in my heart, and how do I channel that properly? I know this will be a season of growth for Christians. We gotta utilize this season to grow deep in our faith and be grounded and become little Charlie Kirks everywhere all over the planet. How about that? How about he produced 1 million? There's 1 million more of him now after he's martyred.
Yes, my friend Tippy said it best. She said, Charlie has been martyred. The blood of the martyred is the seed of the church.
Yeah, it is. Well said, Tippy. She gets a boom. All that works.
Both. Because I'm late on it.
I know.
Okay, so Thursday night, you have your stream?
Yeah. We'll be playing live, busting ass, having a good time with it. It's always fun for me. I'm going to change my tone a little bit. It's a little detail that probably don't matter to nobody but me. But feel a little boomy in the last live show, so I'm going to calm down some of my boom in my guitar. So that'll be one of the small tweaks I make. There's just no end to the little tweaks that we make as musicians.
Yeah, and I don't imagine you let it lie. Like, you hear it and you have to handle it. You're not going to have it.
Yeah, it has to be addressed. It is the cup on the counter that has to go in the washer. It has to go.
Your wife would be so proud. Oh, she would be so. I love that.
I think she's tuning me out at this moment. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mal. This has been a good night. It's been a good conversation.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming
Yeah.
on. You guys, Thursday night, Atomic Annie. What time?
10 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Central every Thursday.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Make sure you get
Let's
the
do it again
scratch
soon.
in. Yes, we will in a couple weeks.
All right.
Of course, you could always be like, I have more to say, and just hit me up.
Oh, I have so much more to say, but not tonight.
All right. Have a good one. Good night, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. Peace out.
Yeah.